Daikaiju Network, where we have a healthy obsession with kaiju. I'm your co-host, Kent, and with me is your other co-host,
Jason. How's it going, everyone?
So here we are. We're wrapping up the 90th anniversary celebration of King Kong with a commentary of 1933's Son of Kong, directed by Ernest Schoedsack, who was one of the two, monster kids, if you want to call them that helped to bring Kong to the big screen originally. So before we go on, Jason, any sort of housekeeping we need to do here?
Yeah, as always, if you're watching us on YouTube, if you see the subscribe button down below, make sure to hit that, and as well as smash the like button as well. And you can follow us everywhere at our Linktree page, where you can find everything in one place /Daikaiju Network right on your screen there. And as far as video platforms besides YouTube, we're on Rumble, Twitch, Facebook Live, and as well as Odyssey. And then we're available on the following audio platforms such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, as well as TuneIn. And you can find both audio and video versions of our episodes at our own website at daikaijunetwork.com.
All right, so getting into the Son of Kong here, this came out approximately 6 months after the original King Kong did, so this would put it at about a September-ish release. This movie definitely, kind of like Godzilla Raids Again and most other sequels to very popular movies of roughly this period in Hollywood, or just even in cinema history, obviously was rushed. It shows in a lot of ways. This movie, it made coin, but it was a severe disappointment, obviously, compared to King Kong. Part of the severe underperforming is the fact that this movie was released while King Kong was still in theaters. In fact, Kong, I don't know exactly how much longer King Kong was in theaters. I know it was for quite a while. But King Kong stayed in theaters for an awfully long time. I mean, I think we're talking years. And so this more or less was competing with its predecessor. So obviously, I'm sure that had a lot to do with this movie's lower box office performance. Not to mention, too, when you read reviews of this from even the time period, people were pretty wise to the fact that this was a less than type of project, which again is unfortunate. But guess what, folks? When you hurry shit up, you get shit. So, I mean, or when you hurry shit, you get diarrhea, Yeah. I mean, that's kind of how it works. But I guess I'm making my opinions pretty well known here. I don't think this is the worst movie of all time. It isn't, no. But it is a movie that severely underwhelms and disappoints. You only have, I think, like 10 or so minutes on Skull Island. The little precious time that we do get there, it is pretty fun. The rest of it, though, is a slog. And thank God it's like a 70-minute movie. So, yeah. It runs its course pretty fast. So I guess maybe that's the good thing about it. But if you haven't done a commentary with us before, what we do is we count down from 3. I go 3, 2, 1, go. Once I say go, you hit play, okay, whatever you're using to watch this movie. I'm using the original 2005 DVD release. Jason's watching it on YouTube. I've got it to where the National Recovery Act logo is just barely showing up on screen. So, Jason, you ready?
Yeah. And then as soon as we hit the movie here, I'll make sure to add the overlay so you wouldn't see our ugly faces throughout the entire 70 minutes.
That's a good idea. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, and then put the overlay.
I'm going to put this down because I'm tired of holding it. I am in my family room for the day, so.
Whoa, I didn't realize that.
So I'm talking to other people, you schmuck.
SOS.
Son of Kong.
Marion C. Cooper, executive producer. The one thing about a lot of the movies, even through today, they always had, the copyright. It's always, the year is always in Roman numerals.
Yeah, I don't know if they're doing that to try to be highfalutin or what, but yeah.
Or to be intelligent.
Well, yeah, highfalutin.
Yeah. RCA Victor. You don't hear much of RCA anymore.
Are they even around anymore?
I I think they still are, but you don't really hear much of what they do.
I remember years ago. I mean, it's got to be about 30 years almost now. I remember when this was on AMC, when AMC used to be pretty cool and not the crap that it is today. Um,
It was the
they
shit.
they played the original Kong and then they played this one afterwards. And that was the first time I saw either one of these. And I remember watching this one, and even then, at the age of like 8 or 9, I was like, well, that was kind of disappointing. I do like the fact that this movie opens up immediately in the aftermath, and not just because of that, but the fact that people are coming after Carl Denham and trying to sue him or beat him up because of the chaos that ensued. That's a very smart way of going about this story.
Yeah. I mean, it would sort of make sense in a way.
Oh yeah, it does. Most other movies of this sort, I think any more writers are a little bit smarter in some respects because I think if you get a sequel with some of the returning characters, you probably would get a writer from today doing something similar to the effect. But this was something you rarely saw in older films, especially that were sequels and you had some main returning characters. In some respects, you would, but maybe not done to the extent that this was done.
Right.
I always get, for some reason, this opening a Three Stooges vibe out of this opening.
Sort of, yeah, because like with a lot of the Three Stooges segments and stuff, they're usually pretty clean, like pretty clean film, and like kind of that usual Hollywood-esque camera shooting and sets.
Yeah, it's not necessarily about that, but there were a number of their shorts that would open up with them living in a tenement like this. And then, they would either have to plumb it or remodel it or something.
So basically, this is just a week after the whole incident.
It makes me wonder, though, like, we never hear about it, but what did they do with Kong's body? How did they move it? Did they move it in one hunk? Did they move it in pieces? Like, what happened?
Timeout. Hold up. Wait a minute.
That'd be funny if
now scram.
It'd be if this were at least the 70s. I wonder if this version of Carl Denham would have said "fuck your readers."
I don't give a damn.
That's what I would have told the lady. Be like, "Fuck your readers, leave me alone."
Now scram.
That guy sounds toasted.
Wait, this ain't Cinderella.
That'd be funny if it did turn into a Cinderella story. I thought we were watching Son of Kong.
I get random hobos coming into the house.
That's incredible considering you're plastered.
Yeah.
He bites Mickey.
Wait, could this be the Mickey from Rocky? Could this all be connected?
Oh my God. Like, my mind just blew. Because Mickey was a fighter. Because let's see, Rocky took place in like mid-late 70s. He was a fighter. He was considered, how old was he? Like 70 or something like. Oh, he was 76, I think he said he was in the original Rocky. Or 74. So maybe.
So it'd be around 40 or so years after. Yeah, you just.
Why would he start taking the overalls off?
Well, just taking off the was it the bucket there in the first place?
At least with the jacket, he could have popped the collar. Anglehorn, considering this movie was made made and released the same year as the original King Kong, the actor playing Anglehorn, man, he looks quite a bit older.
No, it's been a while. Well, like for me, when it comes to this film, it's been years since I've last watched it. So, and it's been a while since I've last seen the original Kong. So wouldn't quite know the difference.
Last time I saw both of these in their entirety was actually about 3 years ago, almost around this time, like when COVID started, and told Lincoln, because, obviously they weren't going to school. I said, okay, we're going to watch monster movies every night. So he likes this movie, which is good. I mean, he watched it back to back in one afternoon about a year ago.
Son of Kong?
Yeah.
I'm sort of surprised.
I was too. Like, he came down, he's like, I want to watch it again. I'm like, really? He goes, yeah. Yeah, go to jail, fool.
Does this look like a yacht to you?
Are you butt blind, sir?
You know what? You're swell. Am I swell, sir?
You don't really hear that anymore. Like, it sounds kind of hokey when you when you listen to it. Gee, that's swell.
Maybe you should be
swell guy.
Maybe it should be one of the words that we bring back.
That'll be an inside joke here. That would be swell, Jason.
Very much swell.
That would be much swell. Swell.
So do they go to like Colombia, then Singapore, and then to a lot of these places all in a short span of time?
Hey, dude, you're thinking way too much here.
Well, I mean, they're putting.
I know.
For nothing.
All those birds are animated. Did you see?
They look pretty real to me, but just on a matte background. How would you know that?
Well, I kind of had an eye for a lady over there. I told her I'd return one day, and, well, I'm a few months overdue.
Yeah.
Well, you're right at the harbor. Like, kick him off or leave him there or shank him and throw him in the ocean.
Looks like Dennis just got out of the Titanic there.
Yeah. Englehorn's like, say, I'm the captain of this ship.
Well,
just so we're clear.
Well, Englehorn, I'm taking over.
Gee, that's swell.
Swell indeed.
Grapping? What's grapping?
Or grap pig. That's quite the entertaining show.
I love I'm partially amused by this, but you know.
Just like that one mechanical monkey with the
Symbols?
I forget what's that? Yeah, the symbols. It's kind of what
some
it
of those look
me.
Pretty creepy though.
Yeah, and they still even sell those in Japan, apparently.
Shit. This movie, unlike the last one, is definitely a comedy. Because they definitely play for laughs in this one.
It's like this scene here seems to take a little bit too long.
It's maybe 30 or so seconds longer than it should be.
Boy, those guys are really amused or entertained.
I love Charlie. He's like he's one of those that's just he gets easily amused. Oh, Charlie.
He's the only one clapping. Be funny when that guy backs up, he accidentally falls off the stage.
or he gives her the chair, and then as she's getting ready to sit down, he pulls it back and he starts laughing, and then he hiccups. And does she happen to have two personalities, Carl? Is that what you're getting at?
Well, we'll just have to find out. She's swell.
I don't know how to take that.
I don't know either.
They're not amused.
Are you entertained?
That'd be funny if she got up and is like, "Are you not entertained?" And took her little guitar and smashed one of them over the head. And then Charlie stands up and that Charlie clapping has got to be a running joke now. You've done it enough times where that has to be a joke.
Like, can we just go about our day now?
That'd be funny if Carl Denham goes, well, it's either that or getting crabs from a $2 hooker.
God.
You pick, and Englehorn would be like, you speak the truth.
Whatever.
I need to rewrite this movie.
Yeah.
Wow. Racism. I had forgotten about that piece of dialogue.
Look at me, I'm drunk.
What does it say about you if you're like, okay, I need to speak to a white man? And not only does it say that you're racist, but it also the fact that you pick this guy. like you couldn't, your racist ass couldn't find someone with better integrity.
Yeah. He sounds like Waluigi when he's drunk.
Maybe this guy is the inspiration for Waluigi.
I mean, he just looks like him.
They do a good job here of playing drunk.
And then with how the music is going here, you can sounds like something's happening.
Well, yeah, that's the unfortunate thing is that these older movies, you usually can telegraph what's about to happen depending upon the music cues. Yeah, that's going to help. Your little sailor cap is going to put that out.
Look what you did, you little jerk.
You're what the French call les incompetents. Her father comes back as the Human Torch. That's amazing. Like she's got, I thought she would be in bare feet. She's got a form of heels on.
Well, she wore those while she was in bed there.
Who wears shoes in bed? That's
Apparently
a whoopsies
her.
As far as production.
Apparently she does.
Okay, so what I want to see happen is all the punks who were really petty and stupid about Bryce Dallas Howard running in heels in Jurassic World. I want them to watch this segment and to go after Helen Mack here for not only wearing shoes in bed, but wearing those types of shoes to run around the tent and to drag her father out of a burning tent.
Yeah.
Some people are so stupid. It's like, oh my God, like that was such a thing. I'm going, really? Really? You're focused on someone's shoes. They can run like that. You're watching a movie about dinosaurs being back to life, and that's the problem you have with it? Idiots. Oh,
like if you give me food.
Hershey. She's like, fine, I'll climb it instead. Retract. That's how you get unstuck. Retract your claw. Yeah, you're trying to play it cool. Like, oh, what? I can tell my cats are getting hungry because Remington is trying to hide himself from Hershey so he can position himself to scare her and chase her off.
Yeah, I don't know how her dad just dived from hit to head with the bottle.
Did you see how frail, though, he looked? I mean, my gosh. I would be afraid if it was a windy day, that guy would die. The wind would tear him literally limb from limb. Ah, my fingers. Oh, there go my toes and my ear. Ah, my nose.
No, Waluigi, no. Don't talk bad about yourself.
The way he's talking and the look on his face, it sounds like he's being sarcastic. Like he's trying to pick her up. He doesn't really believe she's good. He just thinks she's beautiful. So Son of Kong should have been maybe retitled Carl's Got Swag or something like that, you know? The Game of Carl.
And be swell.
Instead of like Be Well from Demolition Man, it's Be Swell.
Yeah. Now she's turning into Bridget Nelson in this role.
Why would you tell him that? Because now he's got plenty of time to develop a scheme to get you. I mean, come on. Like,
or just get out of there.
You might as well tell him your social security number.
Or just turn yourself into the jail. Wait till the magistrate comes. Is he fanning himself with a flag?
Probably.
Like it's a stiff flag. What terrible news!
No, because you got a forgettable face.
Sit down!
That's the only reason why I sat down with you. Oh, you something? I gave you a drink, didn't I? We're even. Piece of parchment for a swig of liquor. I think
That's
you got the better end of the deal. Because I'm getting sued from here to Kingdom Come. So.
I lost it to gambling.
Well, here, give me that piece of paper here. It's 1-800-BETS-OFF. Now give these guys a call and they'll help you out. actually says captain on it. I never noticed that before.
Yeah.
He wears it. He's like, just in case you forgot.
Just so you know, I'm the captain around here. I'm the captain now. I just got an epiphany. You never told
Don't you
me
think
about no
finding
treasure.
dinosaurs and a giant ape, like, wouldn't that be worth more than all the jewels and gold and other precious metals you'd find? Leprechauns.
It's at the end of the rainbow.
You ever tried this cereal called Lucky Charms? They're magically delicious. That was very quick. The fact that this guy is giving very suspicious facial looks because it's supposed to be a tell to the audience that he's bluffing, and yet they didn't pick up on that, and they're so quick to believe him. I mean, it's like, really?
We're journeying to the west.
Listen, kid, the last girl that said she wasn't going to be any trouble was trouble. She was a blonde. Now you're a brunette. And after you, it's going to be a redhead. I'm going to get the trifecta here, you see? What's Carl's deal? I mean, it's obvious that he's macking on her, but at the same time, you would think he would want to take her and she would be like, no, I got to stay here and all that. Instead, it's the exact opposite. So this is so weirdly written, this relationship here.
It's the pirate ship from the Goonies.
Hi, you guys. You guys are poor judges of character.
Well, they did not know that.
It's so funny. They put this skeleton crew together hastily, which, of course, what do you expect to happen when you're in a rush to get out of town? And then Engelhorn immediately bitches about some of the crew. Well, then they pick up this Hellstrom, and then he also immediately bitches about this guy. Like, if I were then, I'd be like, listen here, Captain, are you going to bitch and moan about every person we pick up as being some sort of suspicious fellow? Like,
Yes.
The funny thing was, too, Engelhorn was all up and excited about the treasure himself, and he was ready to get going on this Hellstrom deal to go back to Skull Island. Now he's like, that guy, I don't know. It's like, now you're concerned? After you have him on your ship, and he's planning a mutiny?
They're playing a game of telephone.
You know what happens in a game of telephone, right?
Miscommunication.
Yep. When you get all the way to the very end, the story is completely different from when it started. It starts off something like there's a girl on the ship, and then it ends up being like Joe over here has a carton of cigarettes. Oh, come on, Carl. It's not like you weren't hoping that wouldn't happen.
Deep down inside, he does. Man, according to the video player Scrobbler here on YouTube, we're just getting close to the halfway point.
I know. Bullshit, Carl. Those weren't your motives.
Did you think I want her here?
I mean, come on, I was macking on her, but that didn't mean I wanted her here. And then he winks at Engelhorn.
Like this.
I can't even see you. Why, I used my 2 feet, walked on a plank, and here I am. Are you stupid or something?
Hillstron's like, I'm effed.
And then Carl hands him a giant wrench and says, here, you'll need this.
You think I didn't hear that? I was eavesdropping. Now, get off my ship.
Again, Carl, I call bullshit on your motives.
No.
Yeah, see? You little weasel.
You can just tell by him smiling there.
Yeah,
Off to the side.
His little perv smirk. It's like you're supposed. I don't want to make it seem obvious that I like you, but I like you and all. But you're not supposed to know that I like you.
Do.
That's a very ominous knock. Just thought of something really stupid.
You were thinking like the door opens, hits the guy's side face off the side there.
No, I was thinking he'd come out and Carl says, hold this for me, will ya? And it's a bottle of lotion. Is it on the level? They're pointing guns at you, dude. No, they're just playing a game. Is this on the level?
It's a mutiny. Like never.
Yeah, but even if he did complain about a mutiny, it's a he said, she said type of deal.
Yeah. Well, see about that. And don't be swell. I like how he says gun with the tongue going up. All you get is a cleaver.
And some seasoning. So season which one of you're going to eat.
What kind of seasoning? Poultry. Ah, damn it.
I like the part that's going to be coming up here.
We're going to be communists now.
Have you ever read the book, The Lord of the Flies? That's what we're trying to emulate here.
Maybe Animal Farm, too.
Bon voyagey. Someone's illiterate. I like he shoves his head underwater. I'd be taking the oar and whacking him upside the head. That's some pretty cool map paintings there.
Mm-hmm. Pretty detailed. I wonder how long that took.
Probably longer than it took to make this movie.
It'd be the most expensive thing.
It probably. And it's only in the movie for about 10 seconds.
You're on Faroe Island. Go back. By the way, since that fence broke in the last movie, don't you think occasionally some dinos would have made their way over into that area and maybe would have started attacking the villagers and the rest of the land outside the fenced area? Well, I think it was just the door that was broken through. I don't think it was actually.
Yeah, but the lock was broken, though.
I think it probably would have been at least easy to fix the lock.
Yeah, but that was a big lock.
Well, according to towards the start of the movie, this takes place at least a week after the whole original movie took place.
I love these these rear projected screens, like when they do things like rowing or running or driving, because how they move about is so contrary to how the actual picture is moving. I love it.
Or the paddle. The paddles aren't actually going in the water.
Yeah, the couple of them are about to hit the side of the wall there. Charlie and his cleaver. He should be a Mortal Kombat character, honestly. Charlie wins.
Maybe he's Michael.
Yeah, no shit, dude.
With the low budget that they have, with this cave scene, they did at least a pretty good job with the whole set.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the effects footage is still really good. You can tell it isn't exactly as up to snuff due to the short production period, but it's still pretty good.
Yeah. It's only been a minute. Come on, guys.
Charlie.
That was so random.
I like that. Now, the eternal question is this. Where's Lady Kong?
We won't know until 1986.
You gotta wait like 53 years. Old Kiko. And what they did here is they used one of the original Kong armatures and refurbished the fur on the armature.
Looks like you didn't even need the tree to get out.
Yeah. Okay.
Music kind of makes it a bit corny.
I know. I was about ready to say it. Just all right.
I think they were pretty far away from the quicksand.
Skipper, don't go in there. Carl, I'm about 30 feet away from it.
Good gravy.
It sounds funny because being a scared white man, I know I should have shot him, but instead I helped him. I don't know what came over me. It'd be funny if Charlie wasn't paying attention to how he was waving that around. He accidentally chopped Hellstrom's head off.
Oops, my bad.
If I was Hellstrom, I'd be feeling very uncomfortable with Charlie behind me with that. Kitties. Hey. Fighting each other on the table.
Yes, you will.
Jeez.
Isn't that what?
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that what keeping quiet it means?
You've been watching too many Looney Tunes cartoons, you stupid idiot.
We sort of get that Triceratops vibe from Planet of the Dinosaurs.
Yeah.
That and then the roar from Battle Cat.
Very much a stock roar, yep. Now all of a sudden, everything goes to hell. Like, everything comes alive on the island and starts running towards them. Remington's so hungry, he's sitting on the armoire where we got the TV, sitting right in the middle staring at me.
Like, I want attention. It's a wrestling match. Let them fight.
Let them fight. Let them fight. Who would win in an actual battle? A mountain gorilla or a grizzly bear?
I don't know, it'd be tough. Because, I mean, both would be pretty strong.
Yeah. He's just standing there. If I were Carl, I'd be trying to shoot at the bear.
Yeah.
Can you imagine this whole scene? They're just standing up there, kind of reacting a little bit. Can you imagine how awkward those takes must have been? And action, you're just...
Yeah, a bit awkward.
It's
like they don't have a whole lot of motion,
must
like
be an
emotion.
easy paycheck.
Now, can I get paid now?
Yeah. You didn't help me out, fool. Again, why didn't Carl like shoot at this bear? Har. Like, I don't like the fact that this is being played for laughs.
Yeah. I mean, just how everything's played out is just like a wrestling match.
I mean, I don't care if it's a wrestling match, but like when he got his head bonked, the music got all goofy and he was crossing his eyes, and then he crawled out from underneath the bear, and the bear still somehow thinks he's in front. I don't know. I just... No thanks to you.
She was a bit hesitant there.
Then Carl shoves her in front of him and says, "Here, eat her." Then the
No,
music.
don't do that.
Yeah. And then Carl responds, "You didn't go all the way."
See that? I'm flipping you off.
Yeah, see? I wanted to make sure you look at this. I'm trying to tell you something. Because you didn't help out against the bear. You know, you had a gun.
I'm just trying to say to fuck off.
Yeah. I'm willing to bet that flipping the bird and all that must not have really been a thing yet in 1933.
Well, it was a thing for many centuries. It was just a form of, like, for archers,
Yeah.
like, show them that they didn't get their middle finger cut off.
Cut off, yeah, because they needed it for long bowmen.
Yeah.
That's why sometimes it's called the long bowman salute.
Giving you the long bowman salute.
Yeah, patching up his boo-boo is a way of telling him, hey, sorry I offed your pops. Yeah, that's going to make it all better, Carl.
Get this bandage off me.
Two good deeds. Shut up, dude. Like, that's the least you could do. Like, you didn't even shoot the bear. I would have been unloading all my cartridges during the fight. You stupid punk. I did a good thing, you know? Jeez.
Oh, yeah, like you're trying really hard there.
Oh, shut up, Carl. You offed his dad. The least he could, the least you could do is just talk nicely to him. I will say this: I mean, Carl has always been a sleazy character to begin with, but he's even more sleazy in this one.
Man, we're quarters of the way. I was just resting my eyes for a bit.
Yeah. I'm a vampire.
I want to suck your blood, blah, blah.
I don't say blah, 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 except when people say that I say blah, 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 when I don't say blah, blah, blah. Then Carl gets all weird while she's sleeping and she hears him talk in the fire in a Gollum voice.
My precious.
No one's gonna hurt you. What will you do when I put you on her hair? That's not true, kid. I was just shitting you. I really wanted you to come all along.
Little Con's like, oh, I don't want to disrupt their moment here.
Yeah, let me tell you, kids, close your eyes. This is a little too much for you.
He's like, I'm a bad boy.
If they were willing to take like another year or two, this could have been so much more.
Well, they didn't.
I mean, this isn't the worst thing in the world. It's passable entertainment, but even then, it's just, man. And Charlie's cleaver. I want to see the spin-off movie Charlie, where he, like, because of his experiences on Skull Island both times, he starts losing his mind, and you start seeing the camera zoom in on his face, and he's twitching his eyes, and it's flashing back and forth to his experiences, and his eyes get all weird, and then they get bloodshot, and he starts going psycho and starts hacking people around New York.
Be like a cheap B movie.
Yeah, Charlie, rated R. Charlie, no! And then, spoiler alert, the end of Charlie, how they stop him is Ann Darrow comes out of nowhere and shoots him several times in the back.
Or pushes him off that little cliff there and into the quicksand.
Yeah. Actually, he can't, because this island, spoiler alert, goes under.
Now you ruined the whole movie for me.
Quit your bitching.
I ain't bitching, I'm just arguing. It's all mine. Mine.
I just see a stone statue. The gun accidentally shoots him in the foot. Another rear projection thing. That's kind of funny. I do like this movie an awful lot, though. Despite the fact it's a very underwhelming film, I do like it. As the saying goes, they don't make movies like this anymore. I forgot about this.
Yeah. This is how you operate it.
Oh man. That does have to be the funniest part of the whole movie. This is for not using it when I was fighting that bear, you dummy. Since you really don't want to use it here, I'm going to make it useless.
It's the baby giant behemoth.
That's a movie we need to cover.
I think I've only seen it a couple times.
That's pretty darn good. The thing has no pupils.
Yeah. It's a zombie dinosaur.
Yeah, it's just some random creature that O'Brien came up with. I mean, it's pretty cool, but it's not a real dinosaur, at least that we're aware of. Stay down, bitch! He just gives him a good one right across the head. Again, for the second time, the creature he thinks he's killed is not dead yet.
Yeah, he did.
Okay. Wasn't necessary, but okay. Well, didn't you start wondering anyways after he was a part of the mutiny and he refused to go along with you? I mean, if there was a treasure, don't you think he'd be like, "Come on, let's go"? Like,
Plus he had it in his hands. Why did he drop the treasure or the necklace?
yeah, well, like Hellstrom was saying, I was just kidding you and all that, and Denham's like, "Oh," like, that almost looks very similar to the beast we just saw.
Yeah, or the giant behemoth.
I will say this is a very radical way of ending the Kong story. You're basically saying we're done. So what would have happened if this movie was making a lot of money too, and they were thinking, "Oh, we would like to make a third one"? What would they? I mean, I'm sure they would come up with something, and it more than likely would not make sense. But they offed Skull Island here,
Yeah,
which again is a cool effects sequence.
Yeah, it's the only time when they off the entire island.
I mean, it's a very it's pretty cool in many respects, and the effects of how they do this with tearing the miniatures apart. I mean, it's pretty neat. The only unfortunate thing is we don't spend more time on here.
Mm-hmm. Well, with it just being short, like we've got 5 more minutes of this movie.
Yeah, I mean, I guess technically we spent close to about 20 minutes here, but again, there's 20 minutes on something with all these weird creatures and stuff. I mean, we barely get to know Kiko here.
And with like the entire time we're on Skull Island here, is that they were just only in that one particular area where the entrance to that temple was. That was about it.
And the fact, too, that they decide, oh, hey, we got to make sure Baby Kong dies, too. I mean, that's really harsh. I mean, of course, you could argue, well, what are you going to do with him? Island's going under. He can't swim forever, and that's true. But you could have redone the whole story, like not off Skull Island.
Mm-hmm. I'd like to know how he got trapped in that.
Part of the earth opened up there when he got to the top, and he was standing on that part, and his foot slipped through. It so happens he quits sinking just long enough for the boat to come and get Carl. This is a very sad ending.
Yeah.
I mean, again, despite the fact I'm hard on the movie for being silly and goofy, the fact is it quickly made you endeared to Kiko. And, the fact that they're just like, well, big beast, we got to kill it.
And he had it all this time.
That wouldn't matter because they're still going to sue him and jail him when he gets back to New York. My cats are dying to be fed.
Maybe you should have done that beforehand.
But then they would, hey, knock it off. They would be getting me up at 3 a.m. Hey. Just come out and say it. You want Carl, and Carl, for the love of God, just come out and say, I wanted you to come onto the boat. I got a thing for you. Let's get hitched. Uh-oh. She's insinuating a three-way.
Oh, she said it right there.
For fuck's sake, Carl, why weren't you the one to say that? You don't have the balls to do it. She does. And you are the one that was approaching her. What kind of a pussy are you? Where are your cojones?
Maybe he's doing it strategically and having her say all the things that he wanted to.
For the love of God, that's got to be the most frustrating thing about this movie. It's not so much that the movie's dull or that you don't spend a whole lot of time on Skull Island. It's the fact that Carl Denham is pussyfooting around this whole issue of... I forgot how frustrating that was.
Well, that's the end of it.
Yeah.
Thankfully,
so long.
Thankfully, no ads on that one there.
Well, there would have been if I was watching on my TV, but yeah, that's Son of Kong. So, look, for anyone who doesn't join us a whole lot, we like to, kind of poke fun at the movies we're watching a little bit.
Yeah.
But some of the emotion, like there at the end, I was expressing was genuine. I mean, seriously, Carl's Mac, and he's like, well, I told you.
Are all of your expressions genuine?
Not sure if genuine. But look, again, to be honest, as I stated at the top of this commentary, this is a pretty underwhelming film considering when you compare it to the 33 Kong. Heck, even if you were to try to pretend 33 Kong didn't exist, it's mediocre. It's serviceable, passable entertainment.
Yeah, and in the last 20 minutes is just them on Skull Island there, and you only just get to see just one set of it. That's
more or less
it.
Yeah, minus the cavern sequence with the Styracosaurus as well. But
right.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. It's not what I wanted in terms of, a sequel to King Kong, but for what it is, it is. And I think for me, even though, I occasionally was being serious with some of my criticisms of the film during this commentary, I think I'm kind of forgiving of older films. I think part of it, this film was one of those that I saw when I was young enough to where I guess nostalgia comes in a little bit. Even then, I was like, this isn't all that impressive. But it's fine. It's a film of its time. I've seen worse sci-fi monster flicks as well. It's decent. I mean, if you're looking for a very quick pseudo monster fest, this is decent. I mean, it's unfortunate though, you don't get a whole lot of monster until about the final 20 minutes. It's fine. I mean, it's passable, but this isn't one that I watch all that often. But it's fine. If you've never seen it before, it's fine.
Yeah, like what Ken said, as far as how many times to watch it, this is the first time in probably, gosh, ages. I can't remember the last time I watched it. But yeah, it's just one of those movies that you probably maybe watch once in a great while. It's not something that you probably would want to see over and over again. Unlike like what Ken was telling me, Link there. Like to
My
watch
son,
it
yeah.
like back to back and everything. So
Well, when you're younger, I mean, for his age, and I remember being at that age too, where certain shows or monster movies would come on and it would seem like it took forever to get to the fun stuff. For a movie as short as this, yeah, despite the fact you don't stay on the island that long, it is a short film. And I think for kids that age, you get to the creatures relatively quick. And
I mean, just basically just about an hour or 10 minutes. So just close to 70 minutes. So, I mean, it doesn't take up too much of your time anyways.
No, it doesn't. And yeah. Yeah. I mean, like I was saying earlier, it would have been nicer had the crew not been so greedy to actually just take their time and put together a more cohesive story, to take their time as well in terms of production as well. Not only would you maybe not be competing against your first film from half a year earlier, you would have maybe made a product that was at least on par with that original one. But alas, this was 90 years ago. Sadly, everyone that was a part of this is probably not around anymore. So
about 90 years.
Yeah, I mean it's unfortunate, but like I said, this movie is very problematic on a lot of levels, and it's simply because this was rushed. And again, it's serviceable entertainment. It's by no means the worst thing I've ever seen. I watch trashier movies than this more often. And, I guess maybe the difference is, you're watching a trashy movie versus a sequel like this to a great movie, and you're hoping for something that's at least a little bit more passable. And I mean, it is passable, but maybe a step or two above it. But
yeah,
again, for the umpteenth time, it's fine.
Not something that
there could be worse ways to spend your time.
Yeah, not something probably wouldn't watch for quite some time, even though it just takes a little hour of your time to go through it. But yeah, it's just something that you probably watch in a great while.
Yeah, I mean, it's been 4 years since I've seen this in its entirety, and then before that, gosh, I mean, I think I got to go all the way back to 2007, 2008 was maybe the last time. Then I saw it.
Yeah, for me, it'd probably be in the early 2000s, maybe just in the late 90s there.
I remember, though, again, when I saw this roughly 30 years ago, and we recorded it on VHS along with the original Kong, I did watch this one more when I was younger. And again, like I was saying with my son, I think if you have kids, this wouldn't be such a bad thing because you get to the stuff a little bit quicker than you do with the other film, I believe.
Right.
So I think for younger kids, and the fact that Hiko is kind of an affable character himself, I think it would be good for a younger audience. But for the adults and for those of us who saw the first film and then you're hoping for something pretty decent as a sequel, yeah, this is disappointing.
Right. Well, is that... should we just close out here?
Yep. And so we'll be back in a couple of weeks. I think we're back to Kamen Rider, right? Covering Kamen Rider.
Yeah, I believe so. Yes. Speaking of Kamen Rider, I'm going to have to send you a link. Toei, they showed the first few minutes of it. Boy, you're gonna have to see this. It's for the new Shin Kamen Rider.
Yeah.
So I'll send you a link.
Am I gonna be mad?
No, but it's a lot different than I think it would be.
Well, take a look at who's making it. Well, and then take a look at the two films they made prior to the Kamen Rider.
Yeah, but just wait and see. But
all right.
Anyways, just want to point this out again before we close out. If you're watching us on YouTube or any of the other streaming services, if you see a subscribe button down below, make sure to subscribe to our channel as well as smash the like button as well. And you can find us everywhere in one place at our Linktree page there /Daikaiju Network. Besides YouTube for video platforms, we're on Rumble, Twitch, Facebook Live, and as well as Odyssey. And we're also on the audio platforms such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, as well as TuneIn. And you can find both audio and video versions of our episodes at our own website at DaikaijuNetwork.com.
And so for that, thank you for listening or tuning in, and we'll see you in a couple weeks when we do some Kamen Rider.
Definitely. We'll see you guys next time.